best offense in the league this year, right or wrong?
I think that's wrong. They will have a successful season with the pieces that they do have, but when you see teams like the Buffalo Bills and the Cincinnati Bengals who assured their offensive lines because that was the issue last year, I put those two teams ahead of the Las Vegas Raiders at the moment.
All right, well, speaking of the Raiders offense, their new star wide receiver, Devante Adams, was on the Pivot podcast recently with our great friend Ryan Clark, and he talked about his expectations for that Raiders offense this year. Here's what he had to say.
You're going to get to work every single time we line up. Like, that's just how it is. Like, I'm expecting and hoping that I'm going to murder you every play, but that ain't the reality of it. But I'm going to set out to do just that. I'm trying to chop your head off every single time we line up to show the quarterback, like, there's no other option. If we are all singled up, I'm the guy that need the ball. And if I don't, if Hunter's singled up, I know Hunter going to win that. And if Darren's singled up, Darren might go and score. You know what I'm saying? Like, based off some of the matchups he's dealing with.
A lot more murder talk on today's show than I remember, right?
He lines up, and you see why he wins his route, whether he's single press, whether he's double team, whether he's triple team. That's why quarterbacks, Aaron Rodgers in the past, now Derek Carr, they're going to have the confidence no matter what. I'm throwing the ball to him. When he's talking like that, but has the credentials to back it up, and y'all want to know how wide receivers think. That's how we think right there.
We now know. Tim, I think you had a hunch you knew how wide receivers thought with your time as a quarterback. Devante's saying the Raiders will have a top offense now. Do you think he's right?
I do think he's right. The only thing that would hold it back is the fact that there will be a learning curve with a new coach and, kind of just some, new people. And so if there's a learning curve, maybe that derails it. But listen, Harry's exactly right. Look, his excitement about the way Devante talked about it, I'm sure there's that same excitement from Derek Carr. And look, sometimes, and we've kind of joked about it, on the show, everyone's optimistic at this time of year. But the reality is about what Devante is saying is between Waller, Renfro, and Devante Adams, if they get single coverage, if they are manned up, I don't think there is ever a moment where any of those three guys don't believe that that's an advantage to them, that they will win. I think they all absolutely believe it. I think the quarterback believes it. I think they're right to believe it. And so when that's the case, it just creates so many problems. I truly don't know. I'm eager to see this season how people are going to try to defend these guys. It's a matchup league. Each one of those guys is a matchup nightmare. And so, how they end up being played, I think is a big mystery, and I'm not quite honestly sure how people are going to do it.
Yeah, people forget, I think the Raiders finished last season so hot and got themselves into the playoffs under an interim coach, Rich Bisaccia. New coach is Josh McDaniels. Kimberly, what do you think about the Raiders this year in the AFC West?
I'm so excited about the Raiders. I actually was out there at camp a few weeks ago and talked to Devante Adams, and I found it really funny that he said, we know the outside noise. People are wondering, they're saying, they done teamed up. What are the Raiders going to look like? What is Devante Adams going to look like without Aaron Rodgers? He hears that. And I even said to him jokingly, so what are you going to be without Aaron? And he joked and he was like, we're going to see. He thinks it's a silly question, though, and because his whole entire career proves otherwise. He has the credentials. But he said to me at the time, look, I understand everything I've done. That gives me the confidence. He's a technician at route running. He is just so precise. He is so good. But he understands that this is a whole new situation, and the expectations are high. But in that building, they are really confident because of what these guys are saying, because you cannot just single him. You cannot just single any person because the other guys will exploit that matchup.
And the guy in charge of designing it all is, of course, new head coach Josh McDaniels, who you know well, James, from his time as the Patriots offensive coordinator. What do you think his offense is going to look like in Vegas?
I think they're going to be one of the top offenses. Like you guys have been speaking on, Devante Adams, Hunter Renfro, Darren Waller. Don't forget about Josh Jacobs in that running game as well. So that's going to be a big part of their offense. Josh McDaniels is going to do a great job of designing plays. They're going to find ways to win the football game many different ways. I think it'll be a big year for Derek Carr. I think this is the year for him to show that if he's going to be one of the top quarterbacks in the NFL, got an offensive-minded head coach, go out there and do it.
I feel like every day we're on here talking about a different team that can win the AFC West.